Hi there, Jeffrey Rhoades from Experimental Homesteader, Exotic Gardening, and Sheri and Richerson.com. Please subscribe. Hit that join button. Join our membership. Well, we didn't get up real early this morning. We slept in a little bit. Sheri was up very late last night, early this morning. So she crawled into bed and I let her sleep for a little while. But we did get up eventually. Went out, took care of the animals. We did head down to the airport to the fly-in cruise-in. Basically turns out that most of the stuff took place yesterday. So it's a mostly Friday event. And then the pancake breakfast on Saturday. And then a lot of the cars and the planes leave. So they were basically finished by a little after noon. By 12:30 they were done. The show was over. We got there, I think it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock was when we got there. I managed to get pancakes. They were still making a lot of pancakes. They still had plenty of food. So, it wasn't an issue of running out of food. I had quite a bit to eat. The beverage issue was a little bit of a, not a lot of selection. They had coffee, caffeinated and decaf coffee. They had milk and they had water. So, not a lot of choice. Would have liked if they had have provided some orange juice. That would have been my preference. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so I didn't want coffee. Didn't really want any water. So I did have a little bit of milk, but wasn't really my first choice of beverage. Did manage to get down the way to look at the C-53. I was mistaken in what planes were going to be there. There was no B-17. It was a 1942 C-53 that was there. They were allowing or doing tours of the plane for donation. There were several airplanes that you could take rides in for various prices. But the C-53, it was just a walk-through tour. By the time we actually got down there, the tours were over because they were getting ready to actually take off. They basically took a flight. They lifted off the ground, did 2 passes over the airport, and then headed off to Pennsylvania, where they're based out of. I managed to get down there, got a few pictures, because they did have a group with military vehicles that was nearby. So I was looking at some of the military vehicles more than looking at the planes in some ways. The C-53 was interesting. I was definitely interested in looking at it. Got some pictures with it. Good sized plane. Not the biggest I've seen, but a decent size. It was a transport plane. Hauled lots of paratroopers and supplies. So, similar to the C-47, but no cargo doors. That was one of the things I was looking at. It didn't have cargo doors like the C-47, but it was a workhorse during World War II for carrying paratroopers. The military vehicles, there was a half-track there, a American half-track. There was also a German half-track, and they were actually sitting next to each other, so it was able to do a side-by-side comparison between the two. There were several Jeeps. I think it was a deuce and a half, I think, and there was also a engineering battalion vehicle that was equipped with a crane on the back of it. There was a German motorcycle. It was seats for 2 passengers plus a sidecar, or not 2 passengers, but 2 occupants. The driver and somebody behind, and then a sidecar as well. And it was actually a BMW motorcycle. But spent some time down there, looked around. There were some interesting cars, but like I said, by the time we were down there, some of the cars were already leaving. They were done with the show, because a lot of stuff was yesterday. Didn't know that, didn't realize it. So, for the future, next year, I may, see about trying to get time off in order to go down there and actually see a little bit more. But that's if I decide to go next year. I may not. I don't know. It may depend on what kind of plane they have next year. As far as, I think they basically get like one major aircraft each year, and so we'll see what next year's might be and whether I have any interest in it. But we came home. We went out to the cold frame, the tunnel house, and harvested the celery that we were growing. So Sheri is in the process of dehydrating quite a bit of the celery that we have, so as to make like celery flakes for use in anything that she needs a little bit of celery flavoring for. We've also got quite a bit of celery stalks. It's mostly small. We didn't, I'm not sure what we did or didn't do right, but the stalks are kind of small. So it's not, it's not the great big celery like you get in the store, that you can slap a bunch of peanut butter in and eat. It's much smaller than that. But for herbal concoctions, it should be just fine. It's small chunks, or it's the small stalks that can be cut into small little pieces, and so much better for use in other stuff. So you don't have that great big chunk of celery in your food. But we also got a whole bunch of chard again. This is, I think, what was this, the 6th or 7th cutting of chard?
What?
Was this the 6th or 7th harvest of?
I think more like probably 8 or 9.
8 or 9? Okay. I wasn't sure. The chard had worked out really well this year. We really got a ton of it. Um, the chickens are producing more eggs. I have collected quite a few eggs today, so they are getting into the swing of things and producing a lot better. But we're getting ready to have our dinner now, and we're going to watch TV show. We picked up another season of NCIS to watch, so that's part of this evening's entertainment. And tomorrow I think I'm going to try and do some work out in the yard. I'm so far behind on stuff that it's ridiculous, but I'll see what I can accomplish possibly tomorrow. And of course Monday, I do know we're going to try and grill out and have some hamburgers. But other than that, I don't really know what we're doing. I think it's kind of a, let's just see what transpires each day and go from there. So, but anyways, I think that's going to do it for tonight. So once again, please subscribe. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down, comments below. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Stay safe out there.